Good morning, folks. It's back to fairgrounds stuff. I've been picking up garbage. We had a good windstorm that blew over a bunch of dumpsters, and you know, it's funny that I just went over this little field here picking up stuff, and I missed that one right there. And I missed another one on the other side of my truck door here. And it got me to thinking that, you know, if there's 100 beer cans and you pick up all but 10 of them because they were in the brush or you didn't see them, you know, or whatever the reason, you missed 10 of them. Now everybody thinks you're a no good lazy bum because you didn't pick up the garbage. They don't see the other 90 that you did pick up. They just see what's left. And that's true to life in general for all sorts of different things, you know. You don't see the good points that people do. You just see the bad points that they do that they might not have done on purpose. And doesn't matter what you're talking about, it does work out that way. But anyway, down here picking up wind-blown garbage. Hopefully, today is Thursday. The garbage truck guy comes on Friday. Hopefully, if I call him, he will come tomorrow, and I won't have this problem again. I don't mind, you know, I do mind picking up litter. But I don't mind so much picking up the first time. When I pick up the same stuff that I recognize the third time, yeah, I do mind that. That shouldn't be that way. But too often it is, especially when the wind picks up. And, you know, and if the wind does it, it's nobody's fault. Yeah, I see a couple more cans over there. Like I say, just walk through this field. There's 2 more cans over there that I missed. I'll go get them here in a second, but they weren't left on purpose. So, anyway, this is the unglamorous downside of this job. I am a litter picker. I am a policeman trying to keep people in check. I am a groundskeeper. I am a mechanic. I mean, there are so many jobs that fall under this heading of fairgrounds manager or fairgrounds groundskeeper, or I don't even know what they call me anymore, but there is just so many things. I'm a peacekeeper sometimes with arguments, and it gets old. It gets old fast, and here we are. This is the 24th year of doing this. If it wasn't that I needed the money, I'd been gone a long time ago. But I need the money, and I need a job. And this job, what I do like about it is that the bosses aren't here breathing down your neck. I work kind of my own hours. I mean, it's not 9 to 5. If I show up here at 10 o'clock and work till midnight, that's fine, as long as I get the job done. And I like that. There's no punch cards to punch. There's no anything really pressing unless there's a scheduled event. You know, if they're starting at 8 in the morning, that means I gotta be up by 6:37 and get the ground ready and get everything going. But that's okay. You know, I don't mind that. It's not a stressful deal. And I don't maybe deal with stress as well as some people. I tend to get, well, kind of mean, actually. And I don't like being that way. I don't like chewing people out, and I don't like that when that happens. I avoid stress at all possible costs. Anyway, today, as you can see behind me, is a beautiful blue sky day with just small clouds, nothing major. And that puts me into a really good mood. There isn't a whole lot going on today as far as fairgrounds. I do need to mow the lawn over here and get things kind of looking a little bit better. The fairgrounds paid to have the place sprayed this year for weeds, and that helped a huge amount. But there's still some weeds. I need to go around and chop them. Like I said, mow the lawn and do regular things like that, but it's a lot less than normal. I'm very grateful for that. There are some days that, 7 days a week, nonstop, working my butt off, and I cannot keep up. And spraying those weeds, that helped a huge amount. So, anyway, if any of the fair board is watching this, some of them do, thank you very much. I'm glad you did it. So, pick up the rest of this garbage and go mow the lawn. Oh boy. So this bag is probably a quarter of the way full. And I have to say, that was all in the dumpsters. And I'm happy of that. It's the wind that did it. It wasn't people this time. Some of it might have been. We've had several events over here where people might have thrown a beer can on the ground, but majority of it is the wind. It was in the dumpster and it didn't stay in the dumpster. So overall, people in our area, there's some pigs, but most of them are pretty darn decent, I have to say, and I'm very happy of that. Some areas, they just don't care. Everything they eat or drink falls on the ground, and that is very sad to me. But majority of the folks here, they are pretty good about finding a garbage can and putting it in there. But the wind, the wind don't care. It's going to blow it over and scatter it out. And that makes things tough. So the way the garbage is worked on the fairgrounds, that dumpster is full. These ones over here are not. But the way they work this is if I call them, they'll come out and pick it up. If I don't call them, they don't come and pick it up. And we get charged per dumpster. That one's full. So I try not to waste their time. They come on a Friday. But if there's nothing to dump, I don't call them. See, now that one there is full. And this one over here is full. They had car races last weekend. Today is Thursday. Yeah, that one over there is full. And that one is full. I don't know why they have that orange street cone in there. I'll probably dig that out because those aren't garbage really. They're useful unless it's mangled or something. But oh, there goes my camera. Why is it doing that? There we go. That focusing thing, I'm gonna have to be forced to buy a new camera. And man, I hate to do that. They're not cheap. But even if it wasn't for this YouTube stuff, I like having a camera all the time. Especially one with a good zoom like this one has. There are so many things in my lifetime that I have done and seen that people don't believe because you have no proof of it. And if you spend your life in towns or cities or whatever, there's things that are pretty darn neat, but they're not amazing things, and you get out in the woods, you get out in the wild and things, there are things that I have seen and done that nobody believes. That bear that I trapped, that we ended up having to let loose, had it not been for a camera, nobody'd believe that. You know, people don't do stuff like that. Only we do. And there's tons of stuff. When I was working in Colorado, the guy I worked for was Sombrero Ranches Incorporated. The guy I worked for was Rex Walker. And his partner was Pat Mantle. He has since died. Pat has. He lived down in Arizona, and he had the Arizona end of things. But Sombrero Ranches has the largest saddle horse ranch in the world. Mostly it's trail rides, but they rent out their horses for movies and things. And their horses have been in a bunch of movies. But, man, I enjoyed that. That was a fun job. But nobody believes the things we did. You know, I mean, it's just, nobody does that no more. That's a thing of the past. That doesn't happen nowadays. Only it does. I wish back then I had a camera. And, you know, back then, had I had a camera, it would have been a snapshot camera. It wouldn't have been video. Those things were giant that sat on your shoulder, you know, and nowadays this thing fits in the palm of my hand. But there are so many things that I don't even talk about. I don't tell people about, because they look at you and they think you're a liar. Only it's true. You know, you look at some of these old folks in wheelchairs and nursing homes and things, and it's really kind of sad. You blow him off as just an old man, just an old woman. They never did nothing in their lifetime. Well, if you only knew, you would have a lot more respect for those people than what probably you do. And to me, that's very sad. You shouldn't have to prove the things you did. You should be able to tell them that you did these things, and they should believe you. But unfortunately, there's enough liars out there that it doesn't work that way. Anyway, behind me, I don't know if you can hear it, that food booth right there and that truck right there, that is the Knights of Columbus Catholic booth, and they are pressure washing their seating area and their sidewalk and probably the building too. That's what the noise is. And right next to there, where that big bushy tree is the grass that I need to mow. And it's starting to get hot, so I gotta get on that. See you folks tomorrow, and thanks for watching. Bye.